pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additional agenda or consent items?
No.
Hearing seeing none, we'll move on to delegations. Anyone like to speak to the commission or the Board of Selectmen tonight? Okay. Approval of minutes, regular meeting, November 15th.
Move to approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes of November 15th, 2017 as submitted.
Would anyone like to second that motion? We don't have to approve the minutes, I don't think.
I'll second it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dan was.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
Abstain.
Abstain.
Okay.
So, we have enough?
The abstentions are void, and
Yeah,
it's either yay or nay that wins the day, so we have enough. Consent calendar.
Move to approve the consent calendar for the meeting of December 6th, 2017 in the amount of $5,307.78.
Second?
Motion second. Any comments? All in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay. New business. If the budget update, maybe we could drop that down as budget. We'll have some discussion on it and open it up, if you don't mind. Can we drop that behind the sign call? We have some department heads. I'd like to have them come up and then get them on their way. Anybody opposed to that? If not, I'll go to 3B, Special Appropriation Vehicle Acquisition Program, $388,080.60. 3B. Typically, Joe Bergaw puts this vehicle acquisition program together. I'll note that you might remember, since many of you have been on this board for a while, that we go through our appropriation or acquisition and all this generally in June, and we go to market in July. Do I have that right, Anna? It's typically when we have capital items, we do June, July. With the budget turmoil in Hartford and the big question mark on what would happen to aid to the towns and what our funding would be, we held off and we held off and we held off. And frankly, if we got hit with some of the initial numbers, we not only wouldn't be able to buy any of these vehicles, we probably have half the people working in this town, and nobody to drive the vehicles. So we held off. We, as you know, and we'll have this discussion at the end about the budget numbers, we were reduced by $1.1 million. I think this is important information to get out before we start talking about this. We have covered that and encumbered those funds within the budget through, we've lost some positions through attrition. Thank you, and consolidated some others. We're going to be in good shape, and when we review the budget, our operating budget's going to be fine. Right now, we're looking at capital items that need to be replaced or purchased because of needing to be replaced because we have vehicles that are aging out. So here to talk about that tonight is, of course, Public Works Director Joe Bergaw.
So the agenda item is special appropriation vehicle acquisition, $388,080.60. Just so everyone was aware, and this is, I did not create this memo. I believe this is something that Anna Johnson did, but it shows that that 388 is comprised of five things. There's a dump truck for $145,000, a flail mower for $132,000, a pickup truck for $43,000. Then there's Scott Air Packs for $14,400, and the portable restrooms. I will be talking about the first three. Once we get into Scott Air Packs, I'm not sure who's talking about that, and then the portable restroom. So the 369, and then the interest based on this comes up with the 388. So that's the math is what we're talking about. So we have three pieces of equipment that I'm going to be talking about. Two for Public Works, one for Parks and Rec. As Mr. Nickerson said, they were put on the budget, the capital plan going forward. It was on the approved budget. And let me, there's also, I believe this was put in your packet. I'm hoping it was put in the packet. I just wanted to kind of walk the selectmen through it. It just kind of, I try to be as quick and black and white copies, but it kind of goes over the pieces of equipment. The first, of the three pieces, the one that is, I'll be frank, the one that is most essential is the flail mower. What a flail mower is, it's a tractor and the over the rail mower. It's a thing, it has a boom, it picks it up, it can go over the rail and it cuts the grass. That is essential. Our piece of equipment now is extremely old. It is a 1997. It is beat. It's been costing us $8,000 to $10,000 a year to fix. It's been on the budget for the last 2 years and got knocked out. It was on the 11th and a half hour last year, the last budget. And then it was down for 2 months this year, and it really has to be replaced. We do not, the one we have now does not work. It will probably be upwards of another $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 to fix it for a 1997 piece of equipment. So it's a high recommendation that I have that we move forward. From a bidding and a procurement standpoint, Batcher Corporate has a state bid on this. We went to them. They gave the state discounting. And then there's a trade-in for the existing piece of equipment because it doesn't work. The boom doesn't work, so it's really, you're trading the tractor. What we are looking to do is not only get the tractor, the boom, the flail is one of the heads that cuts the grass, but we're looking to get a second head. So if for some reason something happens to the first head, now we don't have this piece of equipment, spend $132,000, and now it's for some reason you hit like a pipe on the ground. So we try to avoid that, and we're actually out this winter looking for all the areas of because when you cut grass and it's 18 inches high, you don't know what's underneath lurking with a big mower. So we're looking to get a second head, which is highly recommended, so you can move it, switch it up. So that's that piece of equipment. Again, here's the picture of it. It's a little dark. That's in our 12.
It's a bad picture, Joe.
What's that?
It's a bad picture.
Well, it's a bad pic. The other one's a little better because it's a little better in color, but I didn't want to.
Just so you know, the Board of Finance has requested that we don't provide color pictures anymore.
I didn't want to get in trouble for making
added cost.
color.
So that's why you're getting them in black and white.
Well,
tonight.
when you take a black and white picture and then you make a copy of it, this is what it looks like. So that's pretty much. Why don't I go over all three pieces, and then if the board has questions on each one, we can discuss. The second piece of equipment is the highway dump truck. Now, I said there's three pieces that I'm going to be talking about. The first one is an essential need. It's broken. I would consider the dump truck in one of the ones that I would recommend that we move forward, and this is the reasons. This is the last of the one of the last ones that we have that's not a stainless body. And so the body is extremely rusted, and it's going to need a lot of work in the very foreseeable future. That's coming from my master mechanic fleet manager. The truck itself is a 2007. If you notice in the picture, this picture is a little better because it's not so dark in there. That it looks a little different from your typical dump truck. The big bread and butter dump trucks that do a lot of the major plowing in the winter, they're 40,000 gross vehicle weight. They're the big dump trucks. This is actually the first one we're trying to replace of the mid-size. They're 26,000 pound. And the reason I say it is this is the truck that we use all the year. This is the one that all the summer crews go out there. They put the sand, they put the mortar, they build the catch basins, they do all the stuff where half of our big dump trucks are sitting in the garage because you don't really need a big dump truck, and you can't get stuff whether it's concrete blocks or all the stuff out of a big dump truck, and this is lower bed and all that stuff. So this is our bread and butter. We have three of these, and this would be the first one we're looking to replace. It has 72,000 miles on it. We are, as part of the price, we got the Nutmeg and the International is a state bid pricing. They're looking to give us a trade-in of $15,000. Then you have the cab and the chassis. Then we got bids on the body, and that's the lowest bids on the body. And then you put the cab and chassis. You get a bid on the body, and then you get multiple pricing on the plows. Put them all together, it's $143,000. So the first one essentially we really needed. This one, if you so this is my plea for the dump trucks. If we don't fund it, it will be able to get another year. The problem is next year we're gonna have an auto loader coming, the garbage trucks, and that's 275,000. Now we have 275, we have 140, and that they just start backing up if you don't stay in the cycle. And if it's funded, it would be best to try to move on this, especially since this is gonna start costing us money to replace the bed. When the bed is rotted, you're gonna have to start welding things, cutting pieces out, welding them, or getting a new body. That leads us to the third piece of equipment, is the pickup truck. It'd be nice to have, and actually this is actually under the Parks and Rec. Mr. Putnam's here tonight, the Director of Parks and Rec. And this is actually listed on them, and it actually would go to Parks and Rec. They have a lot of people in the summertime besides their regular staff, their seasonal staff, and pickups are premium because it doesn't make sense to hire people and have them out there and then have 3 people in the same truck. But their trucks are starting to age, so what we'd like to do and what was proposed and what was approved in the budget was to get a new pickup truck. That pickup coming in would be replacing the 52 truck of theirs, which is a 2003 Chevy pickup, which has 117,000 miles on it. That would actually be passed on. It's almost like the hand-me-downs in the family of 12. So that would be handed down to the transfer station, who has this pickup truck. And this is a hunk of junk. And on the back of it, it has a lift gate that doesn't work. It's just banged up. It's a 1999. It's got 120,000. So it'd be nice to have this. It was funded, but I can totally understand times being what it is. If this has to go, that's the prerogative of the boards. But the flail that we really need, the dump truck would be good to have. Pickup, if the board so chooses, it would be a good thing to have, but we'll roll without it. So,
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Bergaw first?
Okay, Joe, I'm really comfortable with, once I get the table camera up here, comfortable with the flail mower for a whole lot of reasons. I know when I was working up in Salem as a resident trooper, that was always in use because you're worried. It's a safety thing for lines of sight, people walking on the side of the road. I think that's an essential piece of equipment considering how many people we have using side roads. I know we have some complaints down on Black Point, leading into Black Point and so forth like that. The brush needs to get cut back and so forth, so I understand the necessity for that. Okay with the dump truck too. As you said, it's the medium size. It's not just the winter one. This is out there year-round, constantly being used. And right now, it's already in the capital budget. And in the condition it's in now, we'll probably have more value for a trade-in or an auction or however we do that. So I'm comfortable with that. The pickup truck, we got hit badly by the state. After we thought we were all set, the governor hit us with a little bit of a big reduction. If revenues are still down come halfway through the year, we could get a little bit more of a hit again. I'd feel a lot more comfortable holding off, and Dave, this is your department as well, holding off on that until we get a little further into the year. It's only I hate to say this, it's only 43,000, but that's what it is. But I'd much feel a whole lot more comfortable holding off on that item personally until we get a little further into the fiscal year and make sure we don't have any further hits from the state. It's not 40,000, 3,000. It might be just a drop if we get hit again, but that's where I, feel more comfortable doing it that way. Holding off on that until we see where we are a little further into the fiscal year on the pickup truck. That's it.
Any other comments?
I'll go.
Any questions for Joe?
The highway dump truck, is this replacement the same size and specifications as the current truck?
correct. Except it's a stainless body, but same size. It's going to be that 26,000 gross vehicle weight.
And this is capable of having the plow on it also?
Absolutely. They still push snow. It's not a pickup truck. It's still, you get these blizzards, these trucks still work. It's the pickups that can't push the snow when it gets to be 2 feet. They're stuck in the water. It's the bigger trucks and the loaders and the backhoes. That's the heavy artillery, and this is one of them.
I see that the additional grass head is included in the price.
Well,
The backup.
that, it's,
On the flail mower.
it's included in this, what I'm proposing to you. The pricing was for one head. The flail head is just the kind of knives, it's just a description of the head, and that's better for cutting thicker stuff along the side, whereas there's a lot of places in town that we could put the grass head on, and it just cuts grass, like, you could be out in the country, and there's just a lot of areas with grass. So the grass head is just an extra head, and it's an extra attachment, and we'd like to have that, because it would certainly, if you're gonna go about it, let's do it right and get the right heads for this.
Thank you.
Similar question. So those heads are interchangeable.
Correct.
And,
Quick
and
connect.
and would be used for whatever for the right application. If it's just grass, you'd use the grass head.
Yep.
If it was thicker stuff, you'd use the other.
Correct.
And by having two heads, you're going to extend the overall life, because not one head is going to be working all the time. Is that, am I
That,
correct on that?
and we're better service at town, because if one head's down, we're not down completely. You put the other head on and you switch to the grass route.
Gotcha.
I mean, we have enough route that mower could be going from March to
Right.
October every day. It's just, the problem is it's always down, the one we have now.
And on the dump truck, so the part that's stainless steel is the dump body, or is it the cab itself, or the?
The cabin chassis has stainless components, but it's the dump, that's where you put salt. I mean, this is this is a spreading truck, and you're putting salt, you're putting all the other elements out there, and all our dump bodies now are stainless, but that one is the last generation of it. It's
And they
not
route
stainless.
out the salt
Yeah,
just tears
yeah,
it.
structurally, the beams in it and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
like our mechanics are spending their time cutting and piecing this thing together to strengthen it so it doesn't fall apart. And that's what, I look to, I know you guys used to have Chuck Holyfield coming up, and now we have our master mechanic Kevin O'Day, and he was recommending that we really need to do something with this body, so we have a big expense ahead of us, as opposed to getting a new place and getting rid of this, so we don't have that big expense.
So having that stainless dump body would extend the effective life of this piece of equipment.
Absolutely.
And then the other question, how does the town of Chaplin figure into this? Oh, it says procurement
Yeah.
for how does that, what's that all?
It was explained to me that they gave better pricing than the state of Connecticut, so a lot of other communities wanted the Chaplin's. Chaplin's a smaller community, but it was some court case where they challenged the state that why can't they take this rate? It's a better pricing, so this is better than state pricing. So I was.
So we're getting the same, we're not buying it from the town of Chaplin?
No.
Oh, okay, we're getting their.
No, Chaplin put out a bid that was better than the state bid,
Gotcha.
so everyone is piggybacking off of that bid.
Got it.
And
Oh,
that's how
wow.
it was explained to me. International was
Wow.
saying, you're better to go to the Chaplin bid than the state bid, because it's better. So that's why I'm proposing to you that it's better than the state bid.
So that's smart thinking.
It's saving money.
Yep. Great. That's the only question I had. Thank you.
Anything for you?
Joe, the only, to replace the dump, you said it's very expensive. Do you have a rough order of magnitude if we repaired the current one, by buying
But
a new one?
a new body,
Yeah. 20,000, 50,000, is it?
probably 20 to 30 in that, and that's just parts that then our guys are spending a week and a
labor on
half.
top of it?
I mean, their time is valuable. Right now, they're building police cars to save us money. So our guys are always doing stuff to try to save money for the town, and this would be spending more time chasing our tails on a piece of equipment.
Right. It's 20% of the purchase price, and you're not
It's
gonna get
easily-
the return on that
easily that.
investment, because the rest of the vehicle is gonna need ongoing
Right,
maintenance.
this is the engine to worry
Right.
about.
All right, thank you.
Good question. Any other questions on these first three? Thank you, Joe. Sticking around, right?
Yeah.
Just in case, Scott Air Packs is the fourth thing on there. I know Chris Taylor's here. I know Dick Morris is here. Dick, you coming up? Just you've had you're replacing 2 Scott Air Packs in your department. Of course, you working fires and then after the fires as well, and do investigations and such. And of course, you need to have these breathing systems.
Right, they do age out, and
Right.
the 2 air packs that we have are old, met their life expectancy. That's why we're here now doing it versus back when Chief McDonald replaced all Niantics. We had an extra 2 years on our life expectancy of our air packs, which they need to be replaced. They're an older version. This will mean that the entire Flanders, Niantic, and our office will have all of the same matching air packs, which is important.
And we see this come up. One of the houses buys air packs every year and replaces it ongoing. The other one bought all of them at once, and we paid that debt off. But we know what these things are. Are there any questions about this purchase
Yes.
for emergency management?
Do these air packs that we have currently still meet OSHA standards?
Yes, they're the latest and greatest. They've got the buddy breathing device on them so that if a person went down, they can take their hose, plug it into this regulator to work, and meets the regulations for NFPA with current air pack standards.
Okay, what I'm asking is the packs that we would be replacing, do the packs that we already have still meet OSHA standards?
No, they're aged out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Appreciate it, Dick. And
Thank you.
the last one is the portable restrooms. We are putting in the Cheney Park rooms this year, this spring. We've been working with DOT because we have to cut the road that leads down there, and that's a state road, as you know. As you also know, we received a $500,000 grant from the state a couple of years ago to build these bathrooms, but in that time, between the application and the approval, FEMA has changed the regulations on what you can build in that particular zone, and we cannot put permanent bathrooms down there. So we have come up with a design to have a portable bathroom set up where we can trailer and pull out the bathrooms if with a pending storm and bring it to a safe place. Of course, there'll be permanent structures like ramps that would enter into the structure, and of course the water and the sewer feeds, and that's where the $500,000 steep grant money will go to. The steep grant will not pay for any portable facilities. They will not. The steep grant will not pay for the bathrooms. So we, as a town, will need to step up and have a bit of a commitment here. So what we're doing is taking the trailer's about 70,000.
Correct.
So half of this we're going to put into the appropriation acquisition plan, and half is going to come out of a CNRE account for such purposes. And I'll have Bill explain what we're buying, and then we can have some questions.
I think Mark did an excellent job of explaining that. When we first, I've been here for 16 years, and for 16 years I've been told I'm going to put bathrooms at Cheney Park. We're doing that now.
Praise be.
Yes. So we applied for a steep grant for $500,000 to put a permanent bathroom down there and run water and sewer all the way from Nyack transmissions. But in this whole process, we got the grant, and then the flood zones changed. It changed from just an AE zone, which is a water rises and floods things, to a wave velocity zone. So that means that anything we build would have to be up here. You know, when you go down to the beaches, you see things on stilts. We're not going to build a bathroom on stilts because it would look wrong, and our handicap access would go around it 3 times just to get up to it. So we naturally progressed to these restroom trailers are actually very nice. I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding or anything. They have air conditioning, they have heating, and we are working with numerous manufacturers trying to get the best price for what we're looking for. So it's more of an industrial. As you can see on the right-hand picture, we're going to have diamond plate. So this is going to be more of an industrial for the people that are not as, for people that go in there that are not at a wedding. So it'll be a very nice bathroom, but yet it will be industrial in nature. And like I said, the grant will not cover this because it's not a permanent structure. So we have to fund this from Dave's budget and the $35,000 from this item.
Right. And we anticipate the hookups being installed, the piping going in, and the trailer to be on site.
We're actually here right now because the lead time on this is 2 to 3 months, and I wanted to get this thing ordered so that we can have it for the summer.
Okay.
And next month, I'm going to be here for the full $500,000 for the rest of this.
Right.
So the goal is to have this thing up and running for this summer.
Right. Okay. Questions? Kevin?
If not, right now we have porta potties down there. How much do we pay for the porta potties during the
A lot
course
of
of the
money.
summer?
For the year, $7,500.
So in other words, over the next 5 years, at $7,500, this is going to pay for itself, and we'll have something that obviously it will last much longer than that as well. So, okay. And I know I've talked to Bill about I have no questions about the facility or and so forth like that, because I've talked to him about it. So that was my only question. So we're already spending $7,800 a year on porta potties. Be less than that for what we'd pay over the 5-year period of the installments.
This
on
will
the
pay for itself in 11 years, and this thing here will last 20 years plus.
Okay.
We plan on, this is gonna be a seasonal system, so we plan on taking this and putting it inside for the winter. Cleaning it, washing it, to get as much life out of this as we can.
Do we have a place to put it inside somewhere? That's a
Yes.
no. No, we don't have a place to put it inside. We'll at least cover it, though. We'll shrink wrap it.
Hey, we'll fit it somewhere.
Oh, you got a 2-car garage.
I can't fit a thing in it.
Oh, well,
Can't fit my car in it, never mind a trailer.
Okay.
For something like this and the value of this, I think we have a bay up at the old garage that's assigned for Park and Rec, that this would be appropriate to put that there,
Mhm.
and then relocate some of our other
Okay.
equipment. So I think it would be beneficial for us to do it that way.
You're absolutely right.
We also got water tank up at Cutler Town Road that we could look at putting it underneath the tank.
Yeah.
We could start storing stuff up there. It's a little farther out of the way, but it's
Okay.
a possible place to put it too.
Under the water tank.
And
Interesting.
at Cheney Park, where we're gonna put this, we're actually gonna build concrete ramps and everything, so that we back this right down into, next to the concrete, you won't even notice that this thing is a trailer. This is actually gonna look like a bathroom when we're done. So it will be very nicely done.
Terrific. Terrific. Other questions? Glad we were able to come to some compromise with the state in getting this done. It would have been very, very disappointing to have to give that money back when you receive a $500,000 grant from the state. You want to use it to beautify and improve your town.
I know we're gonna talk about it next month, but we just met with DOT yesterday.
Yesterday.
And because they're
Yeah.
going to repave 156,
Yeah.
we can put all our pipes in the ground, and we do not have to repave the entire lane behind us. So we're going to save an enormous amount of money.
Right.
Because we're corresponding this with DOT's paving of the road.
Terrific. Terrific.
Okay, so we're not actually seeing an exterior picture of this.
It's actually
Unit.
going, there isn't, these pictures are not representative. The one on the right, the diamond plate is representative. The one on the left is not representative, because we're going to have the stainless steel partitions. The exterior is actually going to be aluminum. It'll look similar to an Airstream, because it'll,
And is there one entrance and the same is the exit?
there's a male and a female, each with their own entrance.
One and one.
One.
A door.
Actually, if you look
Like
at
a
the
restaurant.
picture at the top is pretty is accurate. The schematic of the layout. We didn't
Interesting.
want to put any single occupancy rooms that were lockable from the inside, because you would end up with somebody locking themselves in down there. So this is you go in, you have 2 different spaces, so that this door is never locked unless we lock it ourselves from the outside, for safety reasons and also vandalism, damage reasons.
Was my inquiry. That's where I was going. So these toilets that we're seeing in the picture to the left,
Yes,
these are stainless steel?
they will be stainless steel, yes.
They will be. Okay. And you mentioned that this is